We can get started today. Whatever, we're all already sitting in our nice, comfortable positions. Perfect. And we'll start again getting our balance mudra together. Fingertips touching, thumbs pointing out. Trying to hold it right in front of your belly, trying to breathe into that spot. And just take a moment, remind yourself of your intention from last week, or set a new one, totally up to you. Starting to deepen the breath a little bit more. And not necessarily pushing harder, but just becoming a little more aware of your fingertips pressing against each other. And gently releasing that pressure. Letting the hands come apart all the way out to a big T. And rotating the arms, palms facing up. And then rotating the arms, palms facing down just a couple of times, slowly feeling out the shoulders today. Trying to get this move to come mostly from the shoulders, not so much from the wrist. And then starting to let the spine move with it a little bit. So rotating palms down, shoulders come in, spine rounds a little, head can come down a little bit. And then inhale, open everything up. Sternum coming up a little bit towards the sky, a little bit of a backwards bend in the upper back. And just going back and forth a little bit in your own time. Elbows can be a little bit bent if you need them to be. Making sure shoulders stay down. And then coming back to center, big reach with the arms, fingers opening wide. And right hand down to the mat. Inhale the left arm up. And exhale, a little side bend over to the right, keeping left hip really grounded here. Inhale back through center, arms to a T. Left hand down. Exhale, tilt over to the left. Inhale to T. Exhale over to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhale over to the left. One more time each side. Remembering to keep both hips very, very grounded. Jaw relaxed. Coming back to center, bringing the hands together, interlacing fingers, turning the palms out. And then lifting the palms all the way up overhead. We'll just do a couple of twists, remembering to twist with the abdomen, not so much the spine. So the back kind of relax. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, little twist to the right. Inhale, through center. Exhale the other way.
Crack that old man. Do it.
You just dropped something. Couple more twists each side.
You're not going to ask me to join us?
I do have a spare waiver.
listening to that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So colorful.
Every yoga class needs a hype master. And then coming back to center, hands coming down, hands coming underneath hips. And then we're going to round a little bit in the shoulders and the upper back. See if you can lift up your hips. So if hands need to come in a little bit more, maybe a little bit more underneath, and then lifting up. Just seeing if you can, and then settling in. Walking hands forward, take a little stretch. Hello, hands. And walking hands back up, switching your legs. Hands to a big T again. And this time, twist over to the right as you exhale. Left hand coming to right knee. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale through T. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms coming up as we come through center this time. And exhale, twist to the right. Exhale, inhale through center. I need the hype man. Exhale, twist to the left. One more time each side, coming through center, really reaching with the arms, with the spine. And then exhale, coming into your twist, keeping that length in your spine. And come back to center again, reach with the arms up. And then again, we'll bring the hands underneath hips. See if you can lift up your hips. Maybe this time you can even lift feet. Had to cheat on that one. And then release, stretch forward. Really breathing into the lower back, breathing into the hips. And then we'll walk the hands back up. Just take a couple shoulder rolls here. We're going to be doing a little more shoulders and arms today. Not so much the legs, but still lots of legs. And then forwards, backwards, if you haven't switched already. And then we'll make our way to all fours. A little opposite arm and leg lift to get us started. So left hand coming forward, reaching with the right heel behind, trying to keep your spine straight. Reaching as far as you can with your left hand and your right foot. One straight line the whole way through. And then back to all fours. Other side, right hand coming forward, left foot out behind, leading with the heel. And find that stretch, find that one line connection all the way from hand to heel on this side. And release to all fours. And walk your feet back a little bit. Just take one little child's pose here. Breathing right into the fronts of your shoulders. And then coming back up to all fours. Again, left hand up, right heel reaches back. Inhale as you stretch. And exhale, bring your left elbow to right knee in the center. Let your back around a little. Inhale to reach. And exhale back to all fours. Other side, right hand forward, left heel back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, right elbow to left knee in the center. Inhale to reach. Exhale to release. Walk your hands a little bit forward, curl your toes under, and we'll come up into our downward facing dog. And stretch out the calves one at a time. Or two at a time if you like. And then very slowly coming up onto the tippy toes, walking towards the front of your mat, trying to get shoulders over wrists first. And then letting the knees bend as the legs come in underneath. Coming to a very bent leg forward fold. Let your head hang just for a moment. And then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Knees can be bent as long as you need them to be. Head coming up last. Big inhale to lift the arms up overhead. Anjali Mudra, full hands coming together, fingers wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend your knees, let your arms swing down to come up as you inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your knees and fold, hands to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then shift your weight forward, slowly lower down as you exhale. Little baby cobra lift here, shoulder blades coming together. And release back to the mat. Inhale, press up to plank. And exhale, hurdle your hips back to downward facing dog. And again, we're going to do that slow walk just on the toes. Dialing the hands out so that the elbows are coming a little bit back, facing behind you. Shoulders over wrists, and then we'll bring the feet up underneath. Inhale to reach all the way up, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart. One more, just with the arms. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And we'll bend the knees. Inhale, come to chair, arms in front of you, whichever chair you feel like doing today. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, hurdle to downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up. Exhale, step it forward to low lunge. And we'll just rock a little back and forth. Get everything a little loose today. See where you're at. Yeah, if you want to bring the knee down. And just kind of pulse. And then hands to the mat. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, little baby cobra lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, back up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up. Exhale, step it up, left side, low lunge. Same thing here. Warming up the hips, checking them out, seeing how we're feeling. Whichever version you are most comfortable with. And then hands to the mat. We'll step it right up to the front. Inhale to come up to chair. Hold for one breath. And then we'll let the hands come together. Straighten the knees. Exhale as you come back up. Mountain pose. Inhale the arms up, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, we'll bend the knees. Inhale to come down to chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale to plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, little baby cobra lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up. Exhale, step it all the way up, this time coming to a high lunge. Inhale to come up. And then just make sure you're in proper position today. You might need to move a little. Front knee over front ankle. You can be as high up on the back toes as you need to be. If you can, maybe try and spike that heel back. It doesn't have to reach the mat. And then one more big reach. And let the hands spiral all the way back and down. Lean forward, make it nice and slow as you bring your hands back. And then inhale to plank. Exhale to lower. Little baby cobra lift as you inhale. Exhale to release. Inhale up through plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up. Exhale, step it all the way up. Same thing on this side. Rise up as you inhale. And exhale, see if you can maybe spike that heel down towards the mat. Doesn't have to. Breathe into your hip. One more inhale, big reach with the arms. And then exhale as you very slowly let the arms circle around, down, coming forward. Exhale, lasts all the way till the hands are at the mat. And then inhale to plank. One more vinyasa, exhale to lower. Inhale, little baby cobra lift. Exhale to release. Inhale, up to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Seeing if the heels maybe want to reach down this time. If they don't, just practice, maybe one at a time. And then again, we'll take that slow tippy toe walk all the way up to the front of the mat. Until your feet are underneath you. Keep the knees bent. Inhale up to chair. Palms together. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, just the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, coming back to our chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale to plank. And exhale to lower. Inhale, little baby cobra lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up. Exhale, step it all the way through. This time coming up into warrior two. Let your arms cartwheel as you come up. Hips open, front knee still over front ankle. And then from here, we're gonna step forward to chairs. So shift your weight a little bit forward onto that front leg. If you need to switch through to a lunge position on that back foot first, do so. If you feel like you can step straight from warrior two, inhale to chair. And then we'll step back, same foot, back to warrior two, or through lunge and then switch open to warrior two, totally up to you. Step forward to chair as you inhale. Exhale, back to warrior two. One more time. Inhale through to chair. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, sending energy out from both fingertips, or all fingertips. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands. Pivot on that back foot up, back up to the toes. And come through just straight to downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up. Exhale, step it forward. Coming up to warrior two on this side. cartwheeling the hands as we inhale. And exhale, just find your warrior two for a moment. And then getting ready to step forward to chair on this side. So inhale here for a moment, ready yourself. And then step through. Find your chair, whatever chair you're comfortable in. Big inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to chair. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to chair. Exhale, warrior two. Big inhale here. Find that reach of energy with all of your fingertips. And then exhale, cartwheel all the way down. Through to plank and just straight back to downward facing dog. See if you can spike your heels down towards the mat. If not, that's okay. We'll come back to our toes and do our slow walk up to the front again. Trying to get shoulders over wrists, dialing the pinkies out until your feet come underneath you. And we'll inhale up to chair. Hands together, exhale, straightening the knees. Just the arms, inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. This is an excellent spot to break for water if necessary. Anyways, back to the front of our mats. That was the warm-up, so...
Oh, good. I'm warmed up.
Perfect. Okay, we'll inhale the arms up. Exhale to chair. Sorry. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. One breath cycle here. Enjoying the point where downward facing dog becomes a legit resting pose. And then we'll inhale, lift that right foot up. And very slowly lead with the right knee all the way to the outside of the mat. Kind of bringing that right knee to right elbow first. And then step it up for lizard pose. So you can have knee up or knee down, totally up to you. And we'll just take maybe a couple twists, walking hands over to the left side of mat. Shifting a little back and forth. Maybe coming onto the outer edge of that right foot as well. Then coming back to center, 3 lizard push-ups here. Inhale, come down just as far as you feel comfortable. Exhale, coming back up. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just make sure you're really dialing the hands out so your elbows are going to bend towards the back of the mat. We don't want them to bend out towards the sides. There we go. Yes. And an inhale. Very, very slowly lifting that right foot and leading with that right leg, coming back to the 3-legged dog first. And setting it down, 1 breath cycle here before we do the left side. On your next inhale, lifting the left foot up. And very slowly hurtling forward into that plank while that left knee comes out along the side. Briefly pausing at left elbow. And then stepping the foot to the outside here for lizard. Same thing, just taking a few little lizard twists. Walk the hands out to the right. And back. Maybe rolling onto the outside of the left foot. If your hip moves that way. And then coming back to center. Dialing the pinkies out so your elbows bend towards the back of the mat. 3 lizard push-ups. However much you feel like going down, you don't have to go as, you can go like an inch. And coming back to center, very slowly lifting that left foot. And coming back for our 3-legged dog on the side. Setting the foot down, taking 1 breath cycle here. And then slowly walking the feet up. Very, very slowly. Shoulders over wrists. Pressing into the mat with all of your fingertips. And then bringing the feet underneath you. Bending the knees. Inhale, up to chair. Exhale, step back, right foot, warrior 2. And then this time we're going to come down to a little side lunge, so you can straighten your left knee if you need to first. Turn both feet in, and then start to bend onto the right side. Coming as far down as you can, maybe all the way down. And then letting that left foot come up, toes pointing up towards the sky. Maybe coming onto right toes. Maybe just hanging out here too. You can also do this. Whichever version feels better for your knees, your hips, your ankles. And then if you feel okay with it, right hand down, just pushing that little bit into the elbow into the inside of your right knee. And we'll stretch the left hand up. And then see if you can turn the arm and bring the back of the left hand to your back. Maybe all the way around. Maybe it grabs your right thigh. And then reaching up with that left arm again. Bringing it back down. And then very slowly making our way back to our warrior 2. So you can come through a wide-legged stance first. Lifting up and settling out. Warrior 2. And then we move back through chair. I'm going to move my foot back in a little bit. Inhale, step to chair. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. 1 breath here. Trying to get those heels, if they can, towards the mat. Just imagining that they're reaching down. They don't actually have to touch. And then inhale, lift the left foot up. Exhale, stepping up forward. Coming into our low shamrocks here on this side. So you can keep hands down and rock back and forth. If you feel like you had a lot of fun with it last week and you want to lift your arms, you totally can. You don't have to. You can definitely stick with something a little easier to balance. And just shifting back and forth. And then coming forward, hands to the mat, left foot back as we come to plank, and then shift your weight and your hips back to downward facing dog, very uneventfully. Coming up onto the toes, we'll walk up to the front of the mat again. Same thing here, starting to bring a little more weight into the arms, almost like you're like, oh, I could kick up to a handstand here, but we won't, not in this class. Good. And inhale to chair. Hands together, exhale, straighten the knees, hands to heart. Just the arms, inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, we'll bend the knees, reaching forward, inhale to chair. And exhale, step left foot back into warrior 2. Again, on this side, if you want to straighten your knee and move through a wide-legged fold, you can. If you want to transfer your weight back, up to you. Lots of options here, but we're going to come back down to that side lunge, opposite way. Gotta slide my heel. And whatever version of side lunge you are most comfortable with, maybe you come up onto the toes on the left side. Maybe your heel comes all the way down. Looks like most of us are somewhere in here. And then left hand to the mat, left elbow to the inside of your left knee. We'll reach right hand up. And turn the shoulder, face your palm away from you. Bring that right hand, back of the hand to your back. Maybe it reaches around to your left thigh. Keep your spine long. And then we'll unravel, reach right arm up. Let it come back down to the ground. And we'll come all the way back up. Woo. To warrior two. And I forget, did I go through chair here? Let's
yes,
do it.
we're supposed to,
Perfect. Yes. Inhale, up to chair. And exhale, fold. Inhale to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up. Exhale, step it forward. And hamrocks on this side. We'll put that knee down. And shifting the weight back and forth. Hamstring stretch. And quad stretch. Yeah, hands down for balance. Hands up if you're just really feeling like it. But you don't have to. There's 4 more classes. One more.
Yeah, I thought shamrocks.
Hamrocks, yeah.
Shamrocks, it's got a nickname now. I heard shamrocks both times.
I did start doing this around St. Patrick's Day this year,
yeah.
so yeah. Step back to plank. 1 vinyasa here. Shift your weight forward. Slowly lower down. Inhale, little baby cobra lift, keeping the crown of the head reaching forward. Exhale, release. And this time, inhale, coming up to all 4s and just coming all the way back. 1 child's pose here, letting the arms reach out in front of you, shoulders stretching in front. And really breathing into your lower back, your hips. And then we'll come up to camel posture. Coming up to our knees at the back of the mat. Feet can be flat or toes curled under, totally up to you. We'll just come to some of those hinges again, so hands to hips, and just slightly leaning back. Feeling everything in the front line engage here, and back up. You only have to go back far enough that you feel your core and your hips really starting to engage. You don't have to go too far. Maybe only go like an inch. Maybe you really feel like challenging yourself and you want to go a few inches. We have 4 more classes to try this, so do what you're comfortable with. The little camel limbo competition. Just a few more breaths here. And then we'll come through to sitting, however you feel like getting there. Come to staff pose, so legs stretched out in front. Oh, that's a lot of dirt. Really trying to ground down with your thighs in the mat. Hands coming to either side of hips. If your knees aren't quite straight here, just focus on getting them activating, like you're trying to get the backs of your knees to press into the mat, but they don't actually have to. And then press your hands into the mat on either side of your hips just to lift up a little bit. And we're going to get the hands maybe a little bit closer to the hips. Maybe they need to come a little bit more forward. If you want to lean a little bit more forward, we're going to pick our hips up again. So you can, yeah.
I have questions about this.
Yes.
It's like, I don't, maybe my arms aren't long enough.
This
Dude,
is where that
definitely
rounding in the
going
upper back comes
going
from.
Forward definitely helped for me.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can bring your hands a little bit forward if you need to.
And
We
it
are
works.
you. This is one of the few times you're allowed to like kind of slouch.
Right, so that makes your torso a little shorter, so you can actually
Yeah.
lift it.
So you've got room.
Okay.
You can leave your heels.
Oh, I can deal with that.
Yeah. If you want to lift your heels, you can, but you don't have to. If you want to lift like one at a time.
Okay. Is it possible
I'm
to do both?
scaring you. I'm sure it is, but if I can't do it, I'm not going to teach it. So
I don't think I
lifting
can.
one.
I don't think I'm going to go with even one for now. Both of them are.
really gets your quads engaged. Practice it sometime before next class.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
One
That's
more
a hit.
time,
It makes
picking
me
up the
sweat,
hips. Really feeling your core engaging here.
Can I put my fists down for some of this?
Yes, if your wrists
Yeah.
are bothering you, you can totally do fists.
Hi.
though. Extra length too.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little- oh, I see.
And yeah, now I can get
And
some.
it's-
If
it
your
is
wrists aren't bothering you,
No,
use
it
the
is-
whole hand.
It is definitely easier on my wrists, though.
Yeah. Are you really pressing in with all of your fingers?
It doesn't matter, I guess.
Ooh,
with
that's
with
hard.
that much angle
that
on my
one.
wrist,
It's
it's
the
Yeah,
guts.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
this one's fine.
Talk to me after class.
Sir.
Sir.
See you after
Sir.
class. Yeah,
And then we'll lie down.
you in the front row. I mean back row.
Just taking a moment here, just lifting one leg. It can be kind of lazy. And then lifting the other leg, just starting to really find a little bit of that balance in the core. You don't have to challenge it too much just yet, but pressing into the mat with the base of the big toe of whatever foot is still on the ground. And trying to just focus on a little bit of oblique activation as we lift our legs. They can be bent. They don't have to lift up very high. And then we'll get the left foot up. See if we can straighten that leg all the way up. 90-degree angle here. If you want to stay here, you can stay here and just lift up your core almost like you're doing a little crunch. If you want a little bit extra, extend your right foot. Keep it off the ground. Hold here. Oh, we're all off the ground. Perfect. Then switch the legs. Trying to get that top leg as straight as possible. If it's not fully straight, then that's still okay. But just trying to get that activation in the quads here. And switch. Keeping your chin tucked in just a little bit here. It doesn't have to come all the way in. Just not like reaching all the way up. Switch legs again. Really driving your belly button down into the mat. Trying to press your lower back a little bit into the mat. Switch legs. A couple more times here. And if you want to, as you switch, bring opposite arm to opposite leg. See if you can maybe touch. Get those obliques in there a little more. And then back through center. Other side. One more time each side. Very slow bicycles here.
Doing a highly modified version.
I had to take a break. Breaks anytime you need to. And then coming back up onto the forearms. One leg at a time, we'll just do those knee circles again. Or full leg circles if you want to do those. Just letting the hips kind of chill out a little bit. How are we feeling on core?
Good. That was a stretch.
Can we do more core? Or are we good on core
There's only
today?
one way to find out. We can do more, but that was hard, but that's okay. I'm weak.
Other leg, switch. I mean, if anyone's back starts to hurt, obviously stop. And other way if you haven't already switched. And if we feel like we want to do just a little tiny boat. Yes. Coming up to sitting. If you feel like you don't want to do boat, you don't have to do boat. Just sit and breathe for a little bit. But if you feel like you want to do boat, try and rock back onto the bony part of your butt a little, and maybe just a tiny little bit further, lifting the legs. You can totally hold your legs. You can do a little boat today. See if you can get your shins up parallel. If you can't, again, okay. Whatever version of boat you have is totally fine, as long as you're keeping your core engaged and your chest a little lifted. We don't want a boat like this. Boat somewhere in here. And then let yourself slowly come forward. Maybe if we want to rock, do a big rock. Let your back really enjoy that movement a couple times. And we'll end up in squat. And just seeing where our squats are at today. So toes roughly on either side of your mat. Yep. Getting a little bit of pressure maybe on the insides of the knees with the elbows. Doing good. If you need to come up a little bit, you can totally come up a little bit. And we'll do a couple more little twists here. So left hand to the center. Inhale, lifting right arm up. Exhale, bringing the back of the right hand to your back. Inhale the arm up. And exhale back to center. Switch right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. You can use your elbow to kind of push a little on the inside of that knee still if you need to. Exhale, left back of hand to your back. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, back to squat. And I want it to be sideways for this. I'm not sure how this happens, so we're going to switch. So that we're facing the other ways on our mats, facing the side edge. Because we're going to get that squat to come out a little further. Kind of a supported horse pose. See how far we can get our feet. And we're not actually going to rise up into a full horse today. I mean, you can if you want to. But from here, see if maybe you can get your feet pointing towards the corners of the mats. And we'll do a couple sort of squats here, wide-legged squats. So coming to bend the knees and then straighten. So it's just a wider leg version of what we did last class. As many times as you feel like your legs want to go. If your knees start to hurt or your back starts to hurt, then you don't have to do any more squats. And just a few more. And maybe one more. And coming to a wide-legged fold here. Let your spine get really, really long, like you're going to lift up your stomach for a little bit, and then fold. Or fold as best as you can. Just let the backs of the legs stretch out a little bit. You can keep your knees a little bit bent if you need to. Try to keep a little bit of pressure in the base of the first big toe on either foot. And then we'll lift up, straightening the spine, coming about halfway, coming hands to hips. And we'll inhale to come all the way up. And then we'll just step the feet in, coming back to the front of our mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bending the knees, inhale, lift the arms all the way up, big full body stretch. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up. And exhale, step it forward. Coming up to our high lunge here. Inhale all the way up. This time, if you need to step your back foot in, because we're gonna come up to the front leg, so make it a small lunge if you need to. If it's a bigger lunge, it's gonna be way, way harder. Hands can be wherever you need them to be. If you want them to still be stretched up here or on the hips, just to try to make sure you're keeping your hips straight, you can have them in front. You can hold yourself for dear life, whatever you like. We're just gonna breathe into our hips for a moment. Enjoy our nice high lunge. And on your next inhale, coming forward to a straight right leg, lift your left foot up. Try and get that thigh parallel to the ground. And then exhale, step it back. High lunge. Again, inhale, come forward. Exhale, step backwards. Inhale, step forwards. This time, see if you can straighten that leg. Maybe you can get the knee all the way up. And then exhale, step it back. And maybe step that back foot in a little bit more. Hands to hips, make sure your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Straightening both knees. Keep a little bit of a bend, especially in the front knee. Really press into the mat with the base of the first big toe. And we'll start to hinge forward at the hips, coming into a little pyramid posture here. So really putting a lot of your focus into the base of the first big toe on that front foot, but still being very, very aware of your entire back foot. If you need to turn the back foot a little bit out, if that's more comfortable for you, you can. We'll rise up, give it a moment. And then exhale, we'll come forward again. Feeling a very active stretch in the right hamstrings. And we'll bend that front knee. Inhale, little warrior one here, or if you're on the toes, little high lunge. And exhale, hands to the mat. Stepping back. Inhale through plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left foot up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhaling up to our high lunge first. Enjoying our nice high lunge, getting a nice hip stretch on the right side for a moment. And then if you want to bring your hands down, totally up to you, stepping the back foot in as much as you need it to. Inhale here. Exhale, focus. And then coming forward, inhale, lifting that right foot, so right thigh is parallel to the ground. Exhale, stepping it back. And not falling. Inhale, stepping it forward. Exhale, stepping it back. Inhale, coming forward. This time, seeing if you can straighten this leg. If you straighten it and it's down here, that's also okay. It doesn't actually have to be all the way up. But if you can. And then stepping back. Coming in, that back foot a little bit closer, seeing if we can get the back foot flat. Hands to hips, make sure hips are facing the front of the mat. Same thing on this side, a little bit of a bend in the knees and hinging forward. holding on this side, being very, very aware of both of our feet. Inhale to come up for a moment. And exhale, fold again. Still pressing into the base of that front big toe. And then bending the front knee, coming inhale to warrior one or high lunge. And exhale, hands all the way down to the mat. And we'll just step back to all fours this time. And coming to sit. So right leg out, left foot tucked in. Facing right foot first. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, see if you can fold towards the right leg. As far as your hamstrings will let you go, and then bring your hands down for a little support if you want to on either side of the leg. Hold your leg. And then coming back up to center, switching. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, a little fold towards the left. However far you feel like your hamstring will let you go. Yeah, if you're holding your leg, just make sure you don't have a lot of pressure on the leg, especially on either side of the knee. Just kind of chilling. And coming back, walking up. We're going to switch legs again. This time for a little twist. Bringing the left foot nice and close. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, a little twist to the left. Seeing if you can look over left shoulder. Every inhale, your spine gets a little bit longer. And then unraveling. Little counter twist over to the right. Maybe left elbow comes in front, totally up to you. And then we'll unravel, other way. Left leg. Left leg out straight, right foot tucked in. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right. Every inhale, spine gets a little bit taller, a little bit more space between the vertebrae. And we'll unwind, little counter twist, opposite direction. And then coming all the way back through for a nice wide-legged stance. Just a little bit more with the arms here, seeing if we can get maybe a little pickup here in a straddle posture. Might have to rock forward a little bit more. It's a little bit tougher if you're feeling like your wrists have totally had it. You can try fists. Probably won't get up. It's going to be a bit of a weird push-up kind of position. Just rocking up and down. You're not going to be able to hold it for very long. Don't try. It's okay. I'm doing this right. Yeah. It's kind of a cheat move because you have to get your momentum to get you up in this one, and you're only going to be able to hold it for a moment.
And the less your legs will spread open, the harder it's going to be. That's my feet are in the way. Exactly.
100%.
I mean, if you want to come back to like the wide-legged squat business, you can, but
I think I'm going to have to work on the splits.
this is just a fun move, in my opinion, though.
So if I was sitting on something, like if my butt was a little bit higher, I could probably get some here. Oh, I'm gonna try it. I don't think that's worse. It might be lower. What? How high? My butt is off the ground. Yeah.
Yay!
You're right. Or we need to find a
You
hole.
win.
Okay, I'm gonna work on the splits. That's all there is to it.
It's just a little extra challenge for the arms and shoulders.
Alternatively, Mom, you could put your feet up higher, maybe. No, that's not helpful.
It's just that one moment that you're going to be in the air. And you have to have that rounded spine in order to get there too. But that's okay.
Giving up on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. Then we'll come into our final stretch. Wide-legged forward fold. No arms for the beginning. So leaning forward. Not as far as your hamstrings will allow. Just come back like an inch or two from that so you're not quite at your end range, but really pressing the backs of your thighs into the ground, trying to get your knees all the way down to the ground. They probably won't reach if you're a normal person. But just that vision of having the legs pushing into the ground, lifting you up. Your core engaged, then see if you can lean just a little tiny bit more forward. And then release, hands to the ground, let yourself come down into a little stretch. You can bring your hands down.
Oh, my hands. Yes. No elbows.
You can also just hang out here too. Like this is
My
a
hands
great
don't-
exercise.
They don't do anything.
They're there to take the weight a little bit.
My weight bounces back up though. My body doesn't want to do this way. Like they're like. Where's my arm weight?
Gotta work on those lizard push-ups. Maybe we'll just do a whole class of just lizard push-ups next time.
I could pull on the grass. I think probably doing this stretch here, like every day, in between classes, will just get the open a little bit farther.
Let's do that one.
Yeah.
5 times between now and next Wednesday. How
Okay.
about that?
Text me when you do.
Okay. When we're done.
Yeah, every day when you do it.
Okay.
Sounds
Sounds serious.
So be like, I only got 2 texts from you.
Are you in?
This stretch, are there any other particular ones you recommend every day?
Lizard.
Okay. Yeah, that's good
Lizard
for my
is an
hips.
excellent one. The ham rocks.
Yeah, okay.
Shamrocks.
The shamrock.
Lizards and shamrocks.
Shamrocks in the splits. Yeah.
I'm not like the only genius who's thought of that, unfortunately. A lot of
Oh,
other
yeah.
people have. No, I'm so smart.
Inventive,
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, coming back to sitting, right foot in first, followed by left. We'll come to a little grounding mudra today, Prithvi mudra. So ring finger to thumb. The other fingers, if you can get them straightened out. And we'll just bring the backs of the hands to the tops of the knees. Close your eyes. Imagine that your hips are still pressing a little bit into the earth. And that gives your spine a little bit more force to rise higher. Trying to find that stretch inside your body from the base of your sacrum all the way through the top of your skull. Big inhale through the nose. And then, like you're blowing out a candle, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, blowing out the candle. A few more just like that, trying to fill in as much air as you can, trying to get it all the way down to your hips, to your yoga mat. And every exhale, trying to rise up just a little bit higher. And let the hands relax. Inhale to lift the arms all the way up overhead, palms together, Anjali Mudra to close. Exhale, hands to heart.